Hey, welcome to the Social 333 podcast. I'm your host, Chris Bentley. Today, our guest, Rosie J. Pova. Hey, Rosie, how are you?
Great. How are you,
I'm
Chris?
fantastic.
Happy
So,
to be here.
thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a guest. Um, Tell us a little bit about yourself. And I know you came here prepared with a book. So, tell us about yourself and kind of the book and a little bit of your journey.
Yes. Well, I'm a multi-published children's book author, and I'm also a writing coach helping other authors realize their dream of writing and publishing children's books. I've been on this journey for a little over 20 years now, and it's has a lot of ups and downs, but it's something that I'm really passionate about. And I love doing it. I can't imagine doing anything else. I love doing school visits and talking to kids, my readers. So, yeah, that's what I do, just in a nutshell. But like I said, it's been a long journey because I was an immigrant from Eastern Europe, and English is my fourth language, actually. And it's been interesting to catch up and have that big dream.
Wow, that's really, really impressive. Like your fourth language.
Yes.
Wow. Wow, that's really cool. Um, we were talking kind of offline a little bit about like your books and stuff. So this is the sixth book you've actually come out with.
Yes, this is the sixth one.
Wow, that's really impressive. So I have 4 ebooks, and we're kind of talking about that. And like I wouldn't say it's easy to write. I've tried to coach some people on like writing, and even for myself, I find that, and you can jump in if you want. Like I've found that writing gets better as you go. So like I wrote my first book and it was okay. And the second book gets like a little better and a little longer, and the third book gets a little better and a little longer. And before you know it, like it's like you got like a masterpiece kind of like all the way down the line, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It does take time and practice, like every skill. We get better as we practice, and not everything we write will necessarily be publishable or published, but it's important to keep going and develop that craft, and eventually you make it. You're right, and you get better every time.
That's what I found. So I started writing my first book, and it was just a weird situation. Like I was at the bar, I was bored, I had an idea, and I was like, I went home and I just started writing. And what a lot of people think, because I tried writing before a book, is that you have to like go off of somebody's guidelines, like reading. I read the book Wolf of Wall Street, and
Mhm.
he bought that book from Bonfires of the Vanity, and he chose to like copy that like writing style from that author. What I found was that just writing and then writing as much as you can and then transferring that to like a semi-final draft, something like that, is kind of the way to go, because a lot of times a lot of the stuff that you're writing isn't going to end up in the book.
Mhm, mhm.
And that's kind of my experience. Is that kind of what you kind of came up with as well?
Oh yes, absolutely. And I've done that myself and teach my clients. The magic happens in the revision process, and sometimes a project may take 20, 30, 50, however many rounds of revision it needs, and you cut and you add and you change plot lines and characters, and it's just every project is different. But yes, you come up with an idea, you have a draft. That's not your final draft. You have a long way to go and work on it before it gets publishable.
Children's books, and then books in general also, like we were talking, like you can't really do like an online Kindle for like a children's book, obviously, which is really cool. Which really like when I started looking at different books and like how to sell stuff like that, I was looking at like just children's books in general, and I found them to be the most profitable, like in terms of like a hardback book versus like any other book. Like, do you kind of agree with that, or kind of what you've seen so far?
Well, it depends. It is pricey to buy, obviously, for so many reasons. But if you were talking in terms of royalties, that's not necessarily the case when you're traditionally published. You don't get as many royalties as like an ebook or self-published book.
Really, I
Hmm.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hmm. Um, Talk a little bit about the book, because I thought that was pretty interesting what you kind of told me. So this book comes out May 6th, correct?
Yes.
May
Yes.
6th. Okay,
Hmm.
so tell me a little bit about the book, and like what it's about. Don't give away the ending or anything like that. Just tell me a little bit about the book because I thought it was really, really cool, and I got kind of excited about it. So go ahead and tell me a little
Yes,
bit about
yes,
it.
absolutely. Thank you. Well, it's a story about an ambitious snake who dreams of playing the piano, and everyone says it's hands down impossible, right? But she's so determined to realize her dream. She's looking for a way to make it happen, and she's persistent. And yeah, thinking outside the box. So I hope readers will be inspired and encouraged to yeah, have their big dreams and not listen to naysayers and just um, try to find a way to realize their dreams. So that's what the story is about.
Talk a little bit about your digital course and like your workshops and stuff like that, because I know I never went to any one of them. I just kind of just started writing, and then I put all my thoughts together and like published it, and I was like, oh, that's like not that great, and then it kind of like started to snowball a little bit, and I'm sure it's like a lot better, right? If I were to go to like a workshop that you had, or had like a mentorship or a digital course that you have, like kind of walk me through kind of like the how much better I probably would have been if I had just done that versus like been like, okay, I'm gonna write a book today, and after the bar.
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's another part I'm passionate about because I know that it was a big struggle for me. When I first started, I was confused and frustrated and thought it was easy, right? How hard can it be writing just a little short picture book? But like I said, it is a skill. It takes practice. It takes knowledge, knowing the market, knowing the craft. And it doesn't come easy. We think it is, but then we just set up ourselves up for rejections and struggles and confusion, all of that I really don't recommend. So it took me 12 years to get to um, publish a book with a traditional publisher. And I went through, like I said, many ups and downs and crashed hopes and dreams and all of that. So I don't recommend it. I really, the best way to do it is to learn the craft. Learn the craft. It doesn't necessarily mean, you copy someone else or you change your voice, but you know how to write in your specific genre. So that's what I do. I've developed that course and mentorships that I have just to teach writers not to go through all the struggles because there is a way to make it easy on yourself, faster, and get to your goals when you know that you have a system step by step following all the elements, learning, practicing the right way, not just wondering what to do. So, yeah, that's what I do. And we've had so many success stories. I'm so glad that the course is working and the mentorships have been helping so many other authors find their agents and publishing homes for their books.
Yeah, I did a lot of like self-publishing, so it's just a lot different. And I looked at like how to get published, and it's not very easy at all.
It's not, and those are very different routes, self-publishing and traditional publishing. So you need to have clarity and decide which one you want to, pursue, and then know the reasons and know what to expect, because it is really hard to self-publish as well. But not to say traditional publishing isn't hard. Like you have
Eh,
to, you're competing with a lot of people, and you
mm-hmm.
have to pass by the gatekeepers and all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff.
Talk to me about audiobooks. Have you ever like dipped into that? I tried to do it. You have to have like a certain amount of pages and stuff like that. Like, have you tried doing any audiobooks?
Not for children's books,
Okay.
no. What we do is there's the read alouds on YouTube, but they're done by the influencers, like for just those interactive, really cool, short, sort of animated read alouds that are really fun to watch. So that's what I have for some of my books.
Nice.
Mhm.
Um, have you ever like? Is there a way to get it into like cartoon mode? I guess you have to like kind of like talk to somebody about that,
Yes. Oh, that would be ideal. Yeah, if you happen to have it like a short movie
or like a
on your
series or
yeah,
something. That'd be
yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
Talk to me a little bit about, let's see, book signings. I know we talked a little bit earlier about like you went somewhere and you like saw somebody that was like kind of famous. Is that really like a book signings? Is that still like a thing? Because I'm old and like and when I grew up, like book signings was like the thing, and you go meet the author and they
Mhm.
sit with like a big pile of books and they're like, Chris Bentley, right? And then they like hand it off and take
hmm
a picture. Is that like really still a thing?
It is a thing. It
Really?
is. Yes, yes, yes. Kids love seeing authors, meeting authors, real life. I and especially for us, for children's authors, the big thing is school visits. That's where we meet a lot of kids and we sign a lot of books, so we get to talk to them and we make that connection. I've had kids like young kids who just thought because there were at some point there were not so many author visits, and all the kids thought like pretty much they thought if you're an author, you must be dead because you wrote a book a long time
Wow.
ago. They probably go by Dr. Seuss and all of those
Wow.
authors, but they are excited to see that we do exist in
Wow.
modern times.
I'm old. Like I used to go to the library. Like it used to be.
Mhm,
This is like probably a lot of viewers don't even understand
mhm,
this. Like you would give me a subject like social or snake, right?
mhm,
And I'd be like okay, and then I have to like go to the library at school
mhm,
or go to the public library and like go look for whatever those card things are and like go find snake book, right? And then like go find the actual book if it's not checked out. And then I get it and have to like check it out or how to read it and take notes at the
mhm,
library. And like that was our internet.
mhm, mhm.
It's not like I just go online and I see a picture and I had to read
Yeah.
all of the Wikipedia stuff. It's not like that anymore. But that's really, really cool. And then you said that going to schools is like really like the moneymaker kind of deal, like kind of setting and putting your stamp on kind of like the book and people kind of endorsing it and stuff like that.
Yes, yes, because those are like paid speaking engagements. You do workshops with not just we don't just read the book and talk about the book,
Okay.
but we do like workshops for aspiring young authors and illustrators in the audience, and
Wow.
just to inspire kids to read more and to write more and to know about storytelling and being an author and illustrator. So that's always fun, and of course they get to order the book and get it personalized and signed. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet that's a really cool experience
Yes.
because I didn't really have that. Like somebody would come into the
Mhm,
school and then they would
mhm,
like read to us and we'd all be like, and like we're just young, um, and wouldn't pay attention. At least I wouldn't. Um, that was the days before like
mhm.
cell phones.
Yeah.
Awesome. So anything in terms of the book that you want to talk about and highlight? Otherwise, we can just kind of go into like how people can go ahead and get it. I know it's pre-market. Can they get it on Amazon?
Yes, they can get it anywhere books are sold, Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, your indie bookstore, anywhere and everywhere. So,
Nice,
yeah.
nice. And then they could find you online for like a workshop or digital course or anything like that.
Absolutely, yes. Anyone who's an aspiring author, just contact me. I have a lot of events that I do and host and connect people with the industry professionals, and I teach. So, yeah, just
Awesome,
find me.
awesome. Yeah, where can they find you? Is there a website or anything?
Yes, rosiejpova.com is my website, and all my social media is listed there, so everyone can find me easily.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you for being on the show. I learned a lot about the publishing world because I always wondered about that stuff, and like I self-publish, so I was always wondering. But um, a lot of adversity I could tell like that you overcame, which is really really cool, and I'm proud. So awesome. Well, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate it, and thanks for coming out.
Oh, thanks for having me, Chris. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.